to Gaming Gold, episode 9. My name is Jordan Rader. I am your host. Today is June 13th, 2013. So it's a Thursday. I know we normally do this on Monday. I normally record on Sunday and then we post on Monday. But this week with school, E3, schedules, stuff like that, it just didn't work out this week. So we're running a little late. Sorry about that. But next week we should be back on schedule with our Monday episode for episode 10. So let's just get right into this week. This week I wanted to talk about E3. This week's a big E3 week. There's all kinds of crazy information going around from the conference or the expo, I guess I should call it. Some big things for me personally are are all the Square information that's coming out. They talk about the new Final Fantasy 14 beta starts tomorrow, and they talk about Lightning Returns, and they talk about Final Fantasy 15. They talk about Kingdom Hearts. All of those are very big things. Final Fantasy 15 is actually the Versus project that they were working on. So if you guys don't know, basically when they came out with Final Fantasy 13, they originally were like, okay, here's Final Fantasy 13 and Final Fantasy Versus 13. And because of everything that was going on with Final Fantasy 14 at the time, Final Fantasy 13 itself kind of suffered. Didn't have all the gameplay that it really should have had. I mean, it had a good story, but it wasn't the greatest gameplay wise and music wise, stuff like that. So then they came out with 13.2, and now they're coming out with Lightning Returns, which is sort of the final chapter for 13. And I think what they decided to do is, instead of having another 13, another versus 13 or whatever, they want to just sort of leave that behind them and get started on the next thing. Well, the company as a whole is trying to figure out how to save some money and shorten their development cycle and all those sorts of things. So why not take a product that you've already had people working on, and then you can devote your Final Fantasy team to, and boom, now you have your next Final Fantasy game. So they changed Versus. At least this is what it looks like. There's no official announcement, but if you watch the Square keynote, and you can see, or not their keynote, I'm sorry, in the keynote for PS4, I believe it was, they show all the stuff for Final Fantasy, and including Kingdom Hearts and stuff like that. So you see them basically take the Versus 13 logo and morph it to the 15 logo. So that pretty much means that it's going to be Final Fantasy 15. Versus is going to be Final Fantasy 15. If it's not, I'll be very surprised. But good news is they're working on it. They're also working on Kingdom Hearts 3, which people have been asking for years. I mean, years. They keep coming out with, 365 days and this remix this and revisit that and all this type of stuff, and instead of putting the next chapter of the story in there. So those are all very cool things coming from Square. But the biggest hype probably for Christmas coming out of E3 is the console wars. Right now, I think Sony has the upper hand, at least with all the marketing and all that type of stuff. They just have the people who sorry, organize my thoughts here. So Sony has the people who, all the gamers, basically. The thing is, they're also getting all the developers because, and here's the thing, so they're not always online. They're basically their use system is pretty much the exact same that it is right now for PS3. So they're getting a stronger console, all that type of stuff. They're easier to develop for than they were before. The components that they have in their case are really easy to develop for, unlike Xbox, whose components are harder to develop for. So there's thing between them. The PS4 is going to be $100 less, so it's going to be $400. The Xbox is going to be $500. The Xbox One, and everything from PlayStation's message has been gamer, 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 support the gamer, support the gamer. Whereas, and everything ties back into it. Even when they're talking about their media services and things like that, they're still talking about this is content that the gamer wants. This movie is a movie that gamers would like. This service, this music, this whatever is music or a movie or a TV show that a gamer would like. And that the way they word it changes it for the people hearing it. So Xbox was like, "Hey, look at all this cool stuff we can do. You can watch TV and you can have your own program. We have our own programming. You can hook your cable box up to it, all that type of stuff." And they were just basically they were saying, "Hey, look at all this cool tech we have." PS1 has similar tech. It's a little more restricted because it's only through Sony Entertainment. But when they said it, they weren't like, "Hey, look at this cool stuff from Sony Entertainment." They were saying, "Hey, look, here's this cool stuff from Sony Entertainment for gamers." And that changed it completely. So, so there's that, and it's just been their marketing thing. I mean, they're just focused on gamers, whereas Xbox doesn't seem to be. So you combine that with the price tag, and I think if I think the PlayStation is going to launch with just better games, in my opinion, um, than the Xbox One. I think that if the Xbox One had really wanted to blow the PlayStation out of the water, they should have released with a Gears or a Halo on launch. If they had launched with either of those games, especially Halo, if they had launched with a Halo on launch, they would be in a much better position, even with the higher price tag, even with all the other random crap that's in the system, because they would have had that really awesome high brand name exclusive tied to their console at launch. Because the the people who are buying this are going to be parents buying it for Christmas. Okay, and I was talking with my friend yesterday about it. So basically, and because we both work in retail, if you're buying something for Christmas, you're gonna walk into the store and you're gonna be like, "Oh, my kid wants that new console. What was it? Uh, oh, it was the Xbox. Well, the Xbox One is $100 more. It's $500. PlayStation 3 is $400, or PlayStation 4, sorry, is $400. Yeah, I think I'll get the PlayStation 4." And the kid might be a little annoyed, but guess what? He just got a brand new console, so he's not gonna really care. Um, but just that price tag, because parents are going to walk in and see it and be like, "That's $100 cheaper. I'm buying that." I see that right now in retail. You know, the PlayStations that we sell, $260, $270 or $300, and then when you look at the flip side, the Xbox is $200 or $300, depending on whether you want the connector or the bigger hard drive. But the thing is, when people come in, they're like, "PS3, oh, that one's 270. How much is the Xbox? 200. Oh, okay. Well, I want the one that's 200." And then I explain to them, "Well, this upgrade is going to cost you $110, or this upgrade is going to cost you $130." And they're like, "Oh, but that's okay. It's got a 4 GB hard drive. That's fine, right?" And then they buy the one that's $200, even if it's an inferior product. Now, with this, the PlayStation is going to be a better product, and it's going to be cheaper. And to top all this off, even if Sony loses this Christmas, they still win. And here's my reasoning behind that. So, the Xbox One has a Blu-ray player in it. For every single Blu-ray player that's in a console, Microsoft has to pay Sony. So, if they sell a million consoles, or if they manufacture a million consoles, that's a million Blu-ray players that they had to buy from Sony. So regardless, every single console that Xbox One sells still helps Sony. So those are my thoughts on the consoles. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, all that type of stuff, you can leave them down here, or you can contact us on any of our social media sites, Twitter or Facebook. So that's pretty much my episode for this week. I look forward to seeing all of you guys next week, and hopefully Andrew can join us for that. This week was just sort of weird because of the odd day that we're filming. So I'll get with him and see if we can get that knocked out and he can join us next week. So thank you guys. Have a nice day, and we'll see you guys next week. Hello everyone. Thank you again for watching. And if you would like to follow us on your favorite social media site, we are on Facebook at facebook.com/gaminggold88, on YouTube at youtube.com/gaminggold88, and Twitter, mine is at Jordan Raider and Andrew's is at Charles Goldwing. Thank you guys again. Have a nice day.